Well, good morning, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to ask Representative Wiedauer if he will lead us in prayer this morning.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for giving us another beautiful day and this wonderful opportunity to serve the great people of the state of Georgia. Just be with us as we look over some of these measures, and we'll just give us the wisdom to do good by all. In your name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. This time we've got 4 bills on the agenda. Do we have anybody online this morning?
You got a lot of folks online. No, just kidding.
Okay, we got Representative Kennard, McLean, and Barr online this morning. So glad to have them with us. We're going to start with House Bill 210. I think Senator Roberson got another meeting he's got to get to. If he will come to the podium and present 210.
Mr. Chairman, with your permission, I'd like to take my mask off. That's okay? Yes, sir. I carry these antibodies around with me and I enjoy sharing them with people every opportunity I get. I paid for them. Mr. Chairman and honorable committee members, I bring before you Senate Bill 210. I apologize. At the subcommittee meeting, I was able to bring the device with me and plug it in and show each of the subcommittee members exactly how it operated. This is the same legislation that we have brought up the last couple of years. It has passed and got tangled up in Christmas trees and other things as it slowly moved across. What this does is it gives the citizen in Georgia the opportunity to purchase a digital license plate, which the Georgia Department of Revenue is extremely comfortable with. And what it does is it'll give citizens the opportunity to go online, purchase their tags, pay their taxes, and through cell towers and other means that have already established and solid infrastructure system, be able to upload that updated information to the tag. The current model has a 5-year battery life. It is hooked into the vehicle that is operated. As you purchase your license plate, you'll be able to purchase your Bulldog logo or your Yellow Jacket logo or any other specialty tag that you would like to have and have it loaded into the device. The reason I like the device so much is because of the public safety aspect that it includes, which if your vehicle is stolen, you can report it to your local law enforcement agency. They can immediately convey it to the vendor that manages the infrastructure, and the tag immediately starts flashing a stolen banner across the top, so that as it travels around your community, every citizen will be able to realize that that is a stolen vehicle. It also can provide Amber Alerts. And if any of our seniors, which I think I would qualify, should go missing, my wife would be able to call and put an alert out, and they'd be able to locate me. Or if she chose not to, they would not be able to locate me. But from a law enforcement standpoint and a public safety standpoint, it's an incredible step forward in licensing the vehicles. The security on it has been refined, and so the opportunities to hack into the plate and to change anything on the plate have been reduced to almost an impossibility because of the fact that the way the infrastructure is set up. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions from the committee, sir.
Well, we've got a couple. You answered one of my questions on talking about security to start with. I mean, I think that's a big concern everybody had, a couple of years ago when this was first brought forward, was how secure is it? And is you've answered that. My other question would be, how many other states are doing this now, and what's their experience been so far?
Right now, we've got about 4 states that are actively engaged in the process that I've looked at. Probably the state that did the most robust training and are using the plates to a certain degree is the state of Texas. And what some of these states are doing, which I find clever, is they're using these on fleet vehicles. So state fleet vehicles or municipal fleet vehicles, it's cutting down on a lot of paperwork when the municipality has to upgrade tags and everything. They can designate one person to go online, upgrade these tags, and it offers a lot of uniformity. And the citizens who live in those cities can easily identify government vehicles in the municipalities. But right now, that's where the vast majority of, I've looked at Illinois, Indiana, and another state I would rather not name because they always tend to bring the temperature down. But as a law enforcement officer, I'm extremely skeptical of these things to start with. And so I went through everything and even sat down with somebody who I have full faith and confidence in as far from a technology standpoint to ensure the chairman's concern. And Senator Greg Dolezal was extremely complimentary of the security system and the way this device is constructed.
Okay, great. Do they have GPS capabilities? on
No,
this?
sir, they do not.
So
No,
you
sir.
couldn't- they
Now,
can't track.
right. Somewhere down the line, if I think that possibly if you wanted it, if you had a child, a young adult in your family driving a vehicle, I think there's going to be some opportunities that you could be able to add that maybe later, talking to some of the manufacturers. But as of right now, no one can track your vehicle using the digital license plate.
Number 2, Representative Montahan, I believe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Senator, for bringing the bill. And just to follow up on that question, isn't it true that this is bank level security?
Yes, sir, it is.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. And isn't it further true that with this plate, if I'm both a Georgia Bulldogs fan and an Atlanta Falcons fan, that I can display both at the appropriate times?
They will cycle in and out. And thank you. And I don't know why you would want to be a Falcons fan, but yes, sir, if you chose to be, you could.
Thank you for bringing the bill.
Thank you, thank you, Vice Chair Montmahan.
All right. So do we have any questions online? We do. We got Representative McLean online.
Thank you, Senator, but I know why he would want to be a Falcon fan. You know, you had a good vote until you said that, but I won't hold that against you. Senator, I love the bill. My only concern was, like, I guess I saw it in subcommittee as well. The removal of the plate, and that's what I'm thinking about is, you know, people taking a plate off, putting it on another vehicle, or causing some, you know, unscrupulous things with that plate. I mean, is it like a metal plate to be screwed in, or is it? I guess my question is it something that can be easily taken off?
To answer your question, Representative, I'm talking about the Falcons of today, not those of yesteryear that were much greater. And the plate is about an inch and a half thick, and it attaches with a hidden plate on the back of the vehicle. And the advantage with this plate and the other plate is if this plate becomes detached, it becomes inoperable, and it will say on the plate that if it will flash detached on it, but that the tag and all that stuff, they would not be able to use it, where today a lot of our criminals will steal a vehicle and then go around and steal 6 or 7 plates off vehicles so they can rotate them in and out as they go about on their adventures.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for that question. Number 7, Representative Prince.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. You mentioned a vendor.
Yes, sir.
Providing this. So the owner of this tag pays the vendor.
There's
It does not go through the county, nobody else. It's just a pass through for them.
That's correct. Whatever vendor gets this, there are several companies involved in development of these types of devices. But what it is the actual unit has a current retail cost of about $400. So if I wanted one, what I would do is I would go to my tag office, tell them what I wanted. I would pay. I would have I would pay for my ad valorem tax, my decal, and all this other kind of stuff. The Department of Revenue would then send the information to whoever they have contracted with, and to make sure that all that information was uploaded on the device. This would be something that if you wanted to upgrade or customize your vehicle at a local place, that it could be a product that they could sell you and offer, and then the Department of Revenue would upload your tag information to that device.
All right. So what responsibility would the Department of Revenue or the tax guys have once that tag is issued, as far as making sure that thing works and it stays operational? Is that
Right.
all on the vendor?
The responsibility of the infrastructure does rest with the vendor.
Okay.
If I, as an officer, if I'm riding down the road and I see one of those tags and it's not functioning, then I would, of course, initiate a traffic stop and make that person aware of the fact that their tag was not working. They could reach to their county tag office, and they could reach to the vendor and say, hey, we have a problem. But these systems are very enclosed and compact and very durable. So like I said, this is over 3 years we've been carrying it, and prior to that, a lot of years of development. It's a really solid structure. I feel really confident that I feel it's going to eventually replace the tags we have now.
Have any other questions? At this time, what's the pleasure of the committee? Got a motion to pass, and we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. Who will sponsor this bill in the House?
Hoping not to deter the vote, it would be Representative Montmahan. Sir? Yes, sir.
No,
Not the hand. Good choice. Good
Thank you,
choice.
sir.
All right, thank you, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee.
All right, at this time, we will go to Senator Harbison, Senate Bill 237. Let's talk about that one first.
yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Thank you for this opportunity to present Senate Bill 237. And I had 225 up on my computer, but the bottom line to 237 is a Ranger license plate has already been established, but this would be a Ranger sharing of revenue, and that is a problem. About a couple of years ago, the former mayor of Columbus, Georgia, who's now deceased, Bob Porterchef, came to me and asked me to would I consider presenting this particular bill. I did. Someone beat me to it and passed the other part to it, which was great, and I supported it. And he came back this time and spoke about the revenue sharing aspect of it. And this is what we're trying to do. It's very straightforward about other nonprofit organizations to be included in that effort as well. I guess this FOP, the Firemen's Union and things like that would also be included. But specifically, it mentions the Rangers and their organization, and that's the thrust of what I'm aiming for.
Can you speak in the bill? And this requires a 2/3 majority in both House and Senate, which is a little bit different than other tag bills we've had.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's okay with me too. I believe that because of great service of our soldiers, and I think they're just worthy of this kind of a support, and I believe they'll get it.
All right, good cause as well. Do we have any questions? Number 7, Representative Prince. I think he might have been a Ranger at one time.
Negative. I jumped out of airplanes, but no, not the Ranger stuff. I didn't do that. I just wanted to make sure I'm clear.
Yes, sir.
So we're saying that the proceeds are going to a National Ranger Foundation now?
That is correct. But remember this, it is stationed, the Ranger organization is at Fort Benning, Georgia.
And what do they do with this?
Now, all things, the DAV and organizations like that, what they do is they provide transportation for some of our veterans and some of their members. They hold forums to help their members navigate benefits and things like that. And they've been doing it for years. And this is an effort to help them expand that effort, because you got unfortunate things like suicide and a lot of other things going on with a lot of veterans. And this is an effort to help them facilitate those programs that operate within that organization.
And so if I heard you correctly, the tag is already there.
Yes,
We're
sir.
just trying to make sure the proceeds go to a certain
The sharing. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You don't happen to know how many tags are presently?
I do. No, sir, I don't.
And we can check that. I'm
No,
sure
sir.
it's quite a few. Do we have any further questions? Any online? Not seeing any. What would be the will of the committee?
Do pass.
We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. All opposed, like sign.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Chairman.
who will carry this bill in the House?
Here's the man right here, my Marine buddy.
Yeah, a good choice.
That was a good choice.
A good choice. Hitchens, Chairman Hitchens. Thank you, sir. And this,
Thank you.
now we're going to talk about, this is going to be a hearing only on 225. We're going to try to have another meeting tomorrow afternoon talk about this bill in the next one, but we want to have a hearing on this one today. I got to
Yes,
get
sir.
with Ledge Council. They got some stuff we need to talk about, but let's have our hearing. We take care of our questions today,
Yes, sir.
and then we'll
Please.
try to have another meeting tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
But
I'm prepared. I wasn't aware of any questions, but 225 is a follow-up kind of piece of legislation from last year. This gentleman right here, my honorable chairman, carried that bill last year and passed it unanimously in both houses. And we came back this year because of a glitch, a problem because of the number of, well, let me back up and say, this was an effort in the first place to honor the Korean veterans. The Korean veterans are for those of us who served in Vietnam, the ROC soldiers. I served with them in Vietnam. They were great fighters, great patriots, supported the United States of America in combat. This was an effort to help those and recognize those citizens who served in combat but became naturalized citizens in America. They are American citizens now. And this was an effort to help them. They were really gung-ho about being recognized and supported. Unfortunately, one of the oldest veterans died. He was 92 years old. He's now deceased, but this is an effort to recognize them. And the bill was subsequently drawn up to use the word allies, and that may be what is going on here. I'm just not sure about that part of it, but
I don't think it's anything major. It's just, we just need to clean up. So
yes, sir. All right.
do we have any questions for the senator? Do we have some people signed up that would like to speak to the bill?
Could I have Mr. Kim come up and say some words?
Absolutely.
if
He
you don't mind.
was
Thank
here
you.
last year, and if he would
Thank you,
come
Mr. Chairman.
to the podium and tell us who he is and talk about House Bill 220 or Senate Bill 225.
여러분들 뵙게 돼서 반갑습니다. 네, 우리 브라이언 킴이 통역을 해드리겠습니다.
So, thank you so much. Brian Kim, me, will give a translate what he wrote. Okay. Good morning, Chairman, Vice Chairman, Secretary. How are you, members of the Motor Vehicles Committee? My name is Kire Kim, a resident of Marietta, Georgia, and the previous president of the Korean American Veteran, the Vietnam War Veterans Association, Southeast region of the United States. Yes, I, together with 99 other members of Korean and Vietnam War veterans, were able to have a veterans license, driver license, as your committee members allow us to have it with the great leadership of Chairman John Corbett. We want this time the vehicle license plate this time, which requires different chapter, even though the same title 40. When I retrospect last year, we have same sponsors for senators and House representative. We also have the same chairman of the committee and many same members like last year. However, I'm very sorry to miss one veteran who initiated and had promoted until success of HB 819. If this pandemic COVID-19 didn't take his life 2 days ago, we can have his desperate wishing face for late Chun Bong Lee here this place, if he didn't pass away 2 days ago. He was the first veteran to get the veteran's license plate when he registered his vehicle last year to DMV. Soon DMV supervisor noticed that he was not able to get it without amending the law, and Mr. Lee gave us a second motivation because of that to apply SB 225 via Chairman Ed Harbison sponsorship together with the 6 other senators. So now we are here together with the House Representative sponsor, Chairman Bill Hitchens, for specialty license plate for our late comrade Chun Bong Lee. We Korean and Vietnam War veterans urge you to committee members pass SB 225 and allow us to show ourselves as veterans. It means to us to use as a proof of blood pledge by attaching veterans license plate on our vehicles. So people around us to see around 100 blood pledge between the Republic of Korea and the United States of America, and 100 veterans will be surely became the ambassadors for our great state of Georgia, how we give an hour to ally veterans of Georgian. And definitely we are going to dedicate this success to late Chun Bong-mi and his family for his contribution by the of your generosity. Thank you, and God bless you and your family members. Ki-rae Kim, thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Mr. Kim? Chairman Hitchens, would you like to speak to the bill, or you just? Oh, okay. All right. Like I said, we'll schedule another meeting tomorrow. I've got to get with Edge Council, and I don't think it's anything major, but we will. Number 7, Representative Prince.
Hey, thanks again. Again, this is more of a clarification because I've seen this bill last year and had no issues with it. Just wanted to make sure that there has to be some type of proof shown to Department of Driver Service, whoever's issuing these tags, to show that you were, for lack of better words, a ROK soldier or some type of soldier supporting U.S. Armed Forces in order to receive this. Is that still correct?
Okay, last year it was a driver's license, put the veterans on driver license. They are the late 70s and 90s, in case of Korean War veterans. The driver license in their wallet and they put in the pocket.
Yeah.
For them, the social life, to show them, people around them, I'm a veteran. They wanted to show that in the plate. So they are no financial benefit, nothing. They just wanted to show that they are the proud veterans with their plate, instead of all the time show their driver's license to people around them.
And I think Chairman Hitchens can probably speak to that. If we're talking about the driver's license we passed last year.
What happened last year was the bill said that they had to show the equivalent of the American DD 214, which is a statement of military service. What happened once we got into it, after the bill was passed, was very obviously there's a communications gap between reading South Korean equivalent DD 214 with the veteran service people. So what they recommended is that we use the Consul General for the country here in the United States and allow them to provide a certificate assuring that they served in the ROK Army. So.
And I tell you, my main concern is that person on the other end servicing these individuals, i.e. at the tag office or whatever.
That's why they want.
No, I mean, we're in this committee. We know how much we pay these DDS workers.
Yep.
It needs to be simple as simple as possible for them, just like our DD 214.
Right.
Whatever that form is, or whatever the council it is, just make sure. I just want to make sure that when they bring it there, because there's a lot of frustration with the language barriers and all that. We don't need that. And I just want to make it easy on.
That's why we wanted the Consul General, because he can translate it into English and give them.
And then bring that to.
Right.
Cool.
Their equivalent DD 214s in South Korean, and nobody at driver services can read that.
Exactly. Cool.
Thank you for the question. All right,
Thank you,
Senator,
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, and Chairman Hitchens. He did the yeoman's work on this, and I certainly appreciate your consideration.
Thank you for bringing the bill, and Mr. Kim, thank you for coming this morning, and we will, like I'll schedule another meeting for tomorrow afternoon and see if we can't go ahead and get this moving.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. At this time, we had one other bill on here, Senate Bill 165, and I'm going to ask Chairman Powell if he'll speak to that. You had a handout that was given this morning. Let him speak to that. We're just going to postpone 165 till tomorrow afternoon as well.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the committee, you'll see a proposed substitute on your desk. Came from some of the the various and sundry folks. 165 has been an unusual bill because we hadn't been able to really track down all the interested parties in it. This was the autonomous vehicle bill that was passed by our former representative Brett Harrell. And when this bill was passed, this was construed as being the national model for autonomous vehicles. And when this bill was put in, came from us from the Senate. And, what we've looked at is we just couldn't figure out what was such a great interest in it. Finally, we've hemmed it up in the original bill. There was a lot of anxiety from a lot of the manufacturers that manufacture and will be manufacturing these vehicles, that they did not want the Section 2, which would have preempted state law with federal rules and regs. So that's the original bill that was taken out. One of the things that we did want to be sure about, we understand that the manufacturers manufacturing these autonomous vehicles was that they don't need a bunch of miscellaneous equipment that serves no purpose, rear view mirrors and, that various type of stuff, because you don't have a human driving these things. But one of the things that Chairman Corbett and I both came to an agreement on is that it's been the public policy of this state that these slow moving vehicles need to be branded either with a amber strobe or some kind of identifier so that normal traffic identifies them and doesn't run over them, quite frankly. I noticed in here, one of the crowd, they wanted to amend it with a bill that came out of this committee, even though I think that will wind up being placed over in the Senate if need be, or in a conference committee. So at that point, I'd like for y'all to just look at this legislation. We'll get it drafted in a proper format, hopefully by tomorrow, and we'll be ready to present it. Any questions that y'all might have? You see the faces somewhere back here because they've certainly been hanging out. And if you got any questions, if you talk to Mr. Pratt, or if you talk to Mr. Carpenter and some of these folks, maybe they can answer any questions for you personally.
We do have a couple of questions. Representative Montahan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so this is LC 39-3007S right now.
Yeah, that is the sub, but what they're talking about doing is the handout that they gave you,
Okay.
getting that drafted into it. It'll be a different sub
Oh,
with this language. in
Bringing it tomorrow.
Bring it tomorrow.
I guess the question for the chairman is the underlying language going to be eliminated from the bill, or is it going to be added to it?
The underlying language that had Section 2 that would preempt state law, that's proposed to be gutted.
Okay, so this one here, the only reason I asked that is because in our local county, the permit required for the compliance with the code section is through the marshal's office. So I didn't want to, I know some folks, but anyway, if you're going to get rid of it, I'm good. I just want to make sure.
You're speaking about the last couple lines in the bill.
Yeah, that's right.
That was part of a request from Representative Hogan. They have to get a sticker for their strobe light on St. Simon's or other places, and you have to send a money order to the DOR. It costs you $1 for the money order for a $2 sticker.
Right.
They just want to be able to do that at the local tag office when you.
No,
apply
that's
for
right.
this
And
as well.
so, but in our county, our marshals do that already. So that's all I was saying, if we could add a marshal's office in there or something, if you're gonna move the bill forward, that don't matter to me.
Okay, well, let's, we'll talk about it and
Sure.
we get with
Thank
Jim and see if we can't make sure that satisfies your concern.
Thank you.
Representative Prince, you waive. All right, if no further questions, appreciate everybody for coming, everybody online, and I'll look for an email for a meeting tomorrow afternoon. And Jen, I hope you're listening. You got a little work to do. Maybe we'll be ready tomorrow. Thank you. Do what? Be tomorrow afternoon.